Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to my bathroom. I am getting ready yet again. I have to run out and do a few things today, and I figured I would bring you guys along with me. And I also thought, like, I haven't done like a really like an introduction, like a get to know me, so I figured that while I did my makeup and got ready, I could those are my dogs. I'm so sorry if you hear my dogs squeaking their toys in the background. They're out there living their best life. But I am getting ready for the day. I am going to Barnes & Noble with my husband, and then we're taking the kids tonight to the Florida State Grounds. They have something called Festival of Lights. I think it's like a 2-mile drive, and they have a bunch of Christmas lights. It's really cute. And then they have this little like Santa's Village where they sell food at stalls. They have camel rides and like a Ferris wheel and a whole bunch of other things. So we're gonna be doing that. But I figured while I get ready, I would, I guess, do like a little get to know me type of thing. I haven't done that on my channel, and I feel like it's fairly new. So I might as well do a little get to know me, fun facts about me, while I get ready. So as you guys know from my channel name, my name is Charlene, but fun fact number one is my nickname is Cece. All of my friends and family call me Cece, and I came up with that nickname. Like, you would think, you know, Charlene, Cece, like it doesn't kind of go. Everyone who hears me, you know, call myself by Cece, they're like, oh, her name must be Cecilia. It's not. And the story behind that is when I was around 15, 16 years old, yeah, like 15, 16, around there, I used to go to church, and I had just gotten, not out of a relationship, but I guess out of a friendship with someone who I was like best friends with for years and years. I was super down and out, and my mom's like, you know, trying to help her poor depressed daughter, and she's like, let's go to like church and like meet new people, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. So we ended up going, and I went to this youth group, and I went quite a few times, and I think after a few months they were probably like, who the heck is this girl sitting in the back by herself? So they were like, hey, like, what's your name? And I don't know why I didn't just say Charlene, because that's my name. I just said Cece. It was just a word vomit. It came out. I'm like, Cece. And they're like, cool, Cece. So then that's how I got my nickname. Everybody calls me Cece. So yeah, blame my socially awkward and depressed 15-year-old self. That's how I got my nickname. But I was born and raised in Jersey. I ended up moving to Florida because I had a good, I guess, opportunity career-wise to move into a new company, which is the company that I'm still at now. And also my now husband was my then boyfriend, and the long distance just wasn't it. It was expensive. It was time consuming. We didn't see each other as often as we wanted to. So he kind of was like, hey, calm down and live with me, and, you know, like, we'll make it work. And I was like, all right, fine. So I ended up moving, pretty much left everything behind, started fresh. And yeah, that is how I ended up in Florida. And I've been here for quite a few years now. Who knows where the future will take us, but for now, this is where we are. And yeah, what else? I have 2 puppers. I'm sure you've seen at least one of them in some of my recent videos. I think my golden doodle Talia made an appearance in my what I got for Christmas video. But yeah, so I have 2 doggies, and I have 2 stepdaughters that live with us full time. Great kids. I have a great relationship with them. And yeah, I have 2 stepkids, 2 doggies. And yeah. And that's, I guess, a little about me. I started this channel. So I used to have a channel before I got married. And all of the videos are, I think I deleted everything, honestly, just like fresh start everything new. But my old channel was focused more on weight loss and recipe videos and things like that. And while I am still very much on my weight loss journey, my health journey, we're trying to get it together for this 2024 year, seriously, because I feel like absolute crap and I don't want to feel like crap anymore. But yeah, my channel back then was geared more towards health and weight loss and all that stuff. I've always enjoyed filming videos. I enjoy the editing part more than anything, and I'm not particularly like a shy person, so I don't mind putting myself out there. I have pretty thick skin too, so I don't know, I just felt like, yeah, sure, it's something that I could do. Oh, I forgot to do my blush. Dang it. So yeah, so I had that video, I had that channel going on. Normally I would do this first and then do the powder, but I forgot, so it'll be fine. We're making it work. But yeah, so I had that channel, and then I just kind of, I don't know, I just wasn't into it anymore. It wasn't necessarily a passion of mine. I can't say that like weight loss, fitness, and all that stuff is necessarily a passion. It's something that I enjoy it. Like once I actually get into it, I do love weightlifting and all that stuff. But it just became more of a chore than anything else. So I stopped that channel. I had a lot of stuff going on at the time. So I stopped the channel and took a break, and then I got married and had my stepdaughters move in full time. So life just got kind of busy, but I recently got back into reading early 2023, and I am a bookworm at heart. So growing up as a kid, my mom worked in the school system, and every summer when they were getting rid of their classroom books and bringing in their new books, she would collect all of them, and whatever was good supposed to be donated, and she would bring some books home for me. So I would spend the entire summer reading. So I wasn't the type of kid that was gonna go out. Well, I did go out and play, but really I was more about being at home, doing arts and crafts, reading, things like that. So as an adult, things get in the way. You know how it is. Things get in the way. You kind of lose your passion, lose your focus a bit. And sometimes it takes a little while to get back into that. So that was my case. But I started reading again early 2023. And I got so into the like book talk community and booktube community. I think it's such an amazing community to be a part of. I feel like most people are just really nice and friendly, and it's just fun. And obviously, like, it's a passion of mine, so it's something that I'm going to be very interested in. So I figured, why not start a channel and share about the books that I'm reading, and connect with people that way. It's a fun outlet, a fun hobby. I'm a very creative person, and I need some sort of creative outlet. But yeah, that's basically why I started this channel, and I've been having a really fun time. I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do with this channel and some of the things that I want to film. So I'm really excited for the new year and excited to put out some more content for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. So I'm gonna finish getting ready. I feel like life has been busy, but in a nice way lately. 2 days ago, I had a date night with my husband, and it was more like celebrating our 7-year dating anniversary. So I got ready. I had on this like little dupe Skims dress that has like the bra underneath and like the Spanx shorts and all that good stuff. And we went to this Brazilian steakhouse called Texas de Brazil. That's so hard for me to say sometimes, because immediately when I see like anything's like it's a Spanish word, I want to pronounce it the Spanish way, but it just doesn't flow. Like Texas de Brazil, Texas de Brazil, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't flow. Whatever. The point is, we went to a restaurant, Texas de Brazil. It was really, really good. And then afterwards, we ended up going to Target, and he picked up 2 books for me, but I also had a gift card that I got from my friend Jenny, so I picked up a bunch of books with that gift card, and I'll go over those books in a little bit. So I'm gonna finish getting ready. We're gonna go to Barnes & Noble. They have a 50% off of hard-covered books. So I'll see what I find. I don't intend to use all of my gift cards, but I'll see what I find. Maybe stop and get a little bit of a Starbucks and then take the kids to go see the Festival of Lights. So I will bring you guys along for all of that. And yeah, let me finish getting ready and get out of here because I already know my husband is like, where the hell is she? So let's get ready. Let's go get some books and I'll bring you guys along with me. So it is many days later, or not many days, it's like 2 days later, but I never got to film after going out to eat to Chili's and doing the whole Festival of Lights. And again, I feel like I say this in almost every vlog video, if you hear heavy breathing, it is not me, it's my dog. She's right here. She will literally not leave my side. Girl. So if you hear heavy breathing, it's not me. But really quickly, I wanted to go into the books that I picked up at Target. I did mention it in my what I got for Christmas because technically I purchased them with a Target gift card. But I want to go into them super quickly because I didn't give much detail. I just kind of read off the titles in that previous video. And then I wanted to go over what I got from Barnes & Noble's that day that I went out. Her breathing is so loud. I'm so sorry. So I picked up 2 books from Target and 1 book from Barnes & Noble, but they are all within the same series. So I read Praise and Eyes on Me by Sarah Kate, and it is the Salacious Players Club series. Basically, the series is about a group of friends who have pretty much a sex club. It is very top tier, exclusive, you have to pay for it, and there are a bunch of different rooms for different types of kinks and fetishes. So the books kind of go off of each one of those owners. So the first one that I read this year was Praise, and I'm only mentioning it because it is the very first one in the series, but this one obviously has to do with the praise kink, and it is with one of like the main male characters, the main owners of this sex club, Emerson, and it is a little dramatic story between him and his son's ex-girlfriend, who he did not know was his ex-girlfriend, and praise kink and all of that stuff. So that's what that one is about. Eyes on Me was about another one of the owners, Garrett, and I believe it's his stepsister Mia. Now normally I really don't like stepbrothers, stepsisters, that kind of thing, but in this particular book they're both adults and they were not in each other's lives really, but he happens to come across her video as a webcam girl, and he is very much into like the voyeur, you know, it says here he's a voyeur, he likes to watch. That's what this is about. So that's Eyes on Me, and I picked that one up just so that I can have all of the paperback copies. I think I read that one on my Kindle, but I wanted the paperback copy. So Give Me More is about the story of Drake Nielsen, who is not an owner of the Salacious Players Club, but he is the contractor that they use, the main contractor. But there are owners, or I guess one of the owners is a part of this story, which is Hunter and his wife Isabel. So it looks like Hunter gives Drake a proposition to do the nasty with his wife while he watches. And it looks like Drake is kind of going back and forth on whether he wants to do this or not, because Isabel is his like ideal woman. She's beautiful and all that stuff. But it says here that it's not only Isabel that he wants. So this, I'm almost certain, is going to be like a why choose romance. So that's what this one is about. And the very last book of the series, which is Mercy, is about the only female owner of the Salacious Players Club, Maggie, and she's the only one that doesn't have like a relationship going on. Everyone else has a relationship going on except for her, and now she finds herself venturing into the things that she likes to do in that kind of world and figures out that she is a dom, and it looks like she's getting into some sort of a relationship with Emerson, who is the main male character of the very first book, Praise, his son Beau. So it seems like this is going to be really interesting. There's a little part in here that says Beau Grant is a brat, and Maggie would hate that about him if she didn't love pushing him so much. Yet she's beginning to see that underneath his attitude, Beau is misunderstood, selfless, and in need of direction. But if it's mercy that he's after, he'll have to earn it first. So that is what this one is about. So I picked up 2 of those books from Target, 1 of them from Barnes & Noble. The next 2 that I picked up from Target is Sinner and Saint by Sierra Simone, and I have Priest, which is the very first book in the series. I believe this is the Priest series if I'm not mistaken, and I think it's going to be Priest, Sinner, and then Saint. That's the order that it goes into. Basically, these stories are pretty controversial. For those of you that are more on the religious side and take that very seriously, I would not recommend this. I would definitely check all of the trigger warnings before getting into these stories. The very first one was about Tyler, and he was a priest but found himself lusting after one of these new members of his church, and kind of caught between, you know, do I stay within this priesthood or do I kind of venture out and have, you know, and follow this relationship. So it is very spicy. It's very spicy. So I will say, you know, take that little warning. So for the book of Sinner, it looks like it's following the story of Sean Bell, who is supposed to be like this womanizer, playboy, quote-unquote sinner, and his best friend's little sister, Zenoiba, I believe, aka Zenny, and it looks like she is on her way to becoming a nun. She's almost done with, I'm assuming, I don't know if it's like a training or whatever it is, to become a nun, but in that very last month, she wants to explore all of these carnal desires before she truly commits to this life, and she propositions Sean to be the guy that fulfills all of these carnal desires. And it says here at the very end that the only problem is, what if Sean wants Zenny to choose him instead of choosing him? So this one looks like it's going to be super juicy. And the next one, which is the last book of the series, I believe, I don't know if there's any more coming up, but it is Saint. So this one follows the story of Aiden, who wants to become a monk, but it looks like he is going to have another encounter with an ex of his, Elijah, because Elijah is going to be accompanying him on this like European monastery trip because he is writing an article on it. So I'm assuming this is going to be a lot of, you know, forbidden love, temptation, because is he a monk already? Let me see. No one expected him to become a monk. So I believe he's a monk already. So he's a monk who is also gay and who is going to be fighting temptations. So this one sounds like it's going to be super interesting. So that one I picked up from Target. And another one that I picked up from Target that has an absolute beautiful cover is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. So Belladonna is a romantic gothic story, and it follows the story of Signa, who is an orphan, and everyone that has been one of the caretakers of her life have met an untimely end, and it looks like it's because they're more interested in her money than in her well-being. And finally, she has a family, the Hawthorns, and it looks like the wife passed away, and her spirit happens to reappear to let them know that it wasn't just an accidental death, but it was a murder. So now Signa is going to be looking into how she got murdered, and it seems to be a really interesting story. It says here that it brings to life a highly romantic, gothic infused world of wealth, desire, and betrayal. So I'm super interested in reading this one. I've heard a lot about it on Book Talk and BookTube, but I picked it up because it was on sale. Like, I did want to read it, but it was on sale, so it was the perfect time to pick it up. So I got that one from Target. The next book that I picked up was The Coworker by Frida McFadden. I absolutely love her work. She is the author of The Housemaid and The Housemaid's Secret. I love both of those books. The Housemaid definitely was my favorite. It is one of my top reads for 2023, and her books are just so bingeable. Like, once you pick them up, you just can't put them down. Her writing style is just so amazing and so captivating. But it looks like this one is about two women, an office filled with secrets, and one terrible crime that can't be taken back. So I am very, very much interested in reading this one. Like I said, her work is bingeable. She writes such good thrillers, so I'm so excited to get into this one. So the next book that I got from Target is A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch by Sarah Hawley, and it looks like this one follows the story of a witch named Caladia who helps someone from a demon attack one night, and she's super happy to put her magic to good use until she realizes who it was that she helped, which is another demon called Astaroth that she absolutely can't stand because he is a soul bargainer and he orchestrated a soul bargain on one of her best friends. The problem is that Astaroth is suffering from amnesia after being banished from like the mortal plane, and he has no idea why. So even though she can't stand him, she is going to help him because there is another demon that is after him. So it's just like there's a lot going on in here, and it sounds like it's going to be like an enemies to lovers. So I might save this for the fall time since it's kind of like witchy and has like those witchy vibes, but it sounds really cute, so we'll see how that one goes. And the last book I got from Target is Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I just read one of her books this past month, which was In a Holidays, which I really did enjoy. And I also read The Soulmate Equation, but I heard that this is one of the best stories that she's written, so I'm super excited to get into this one. I don't know too much about it, but it kind of sounds like it's a second chance romance type of thing. I might be a little bit off on that, but it follows the story of Macy and Elliot, and it looks like they were once upon a time lovers, and then he ended up breaking her heart, and now he's back in her life. So I am really excited to read this one. I want to read more Christina Lauren work because The Soulmate Equation was kind of like and In a Holidays I enjoyed more, but it definitely wasn't a 5-star read. So I do want to give this one a try and see if I like it. But yeah, Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. And then from Barnes & Nobles, aside from Give Me More, I believe I got that one from Barnes & Nobles, I just got 3 books. I only found one book that was a hardcover book on that 50% off sale, and it is A Good House for Children by Kate Collins. And this one seems to be like a suspense thriller novel, which it's either I love romance or I love like horror and thriller. So I'm really excited to get into this one. But this one looks like it follows the story of Orla, who is a mother. She's a painter, a lover, and now she's a mother and a wife. And her husband Nick suggests that their city apartment has grown too small, and it looks like Nick has found a house on Dorset Cliffs. So they move in, but Orla is really unsettled by this place. It says that she is hearing voices, doors are opening and closing, and one of her children, who hasn't spoken a word in 6 months, all of a sudden has this imaginary friend. And then the story moves 4 decades later, where Lydia moves in as a live-in nanny and starts experiencing the same thing. It says here that this is a feminist gothic tale perfectly suited for the current moment. A Good House for Children combines an atmospheric mystery mystery with resonant themes of motherhood, madness, and the value of women's work. So I'm super excited to get into that story. I've never read anything by Kate Collins, but I do love a good suspense, thriller, mystery kind of thing, and that one seems right up my alley, so I'm excited to read that one. And then the last two books I got, one of them is the prequel to Legends and Lattes, which is a 5-star read for me. It is very much like a cozy, atmospheric fantasy. The definition of a cozy fantasy would be Legends and Latte. So this is the prequel, and it's called Bookshops in Bone Dust. So this is probably going to be one of my first reads in 2024, just because I really loved Legends and Latte. And I'm sorry, the author is Travis Baldree, so I'm super curious to see and get a little glimpse into Viv's life before she opened up the cafe shop. But I don't know, like that one, sorry, there's fireworks going off and my dog is barking. That one was such an amazing read for me. I don't know if this one can top it, so we'll see. And the last book I picked up was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. And it looks like this one takes place in a library. Diana Bishop is a young scholar and a descendant of witches. She unearths some sort of manuscript. She wants nothing to do with it, so she banishes the book to the stacks. But her discovery has set off a fantastical underworld stirring, and soon a horde of demons, witches, and other creatures descend upon the library. Among them is a vampire with a keen interest in the book, equal parts history and magic, romance and suspense. A Discovery of Witches is a mesmerizing and addictive tale of passion and obsession that reveals the closely guarded secrets of an enchanted world. This one, I picked it up. I've heard so much about it, but when I read the back of it, as soon as I saw history, magic, romance, and suspense, I'm done. I want it. So I'm very much interested to reading this book. It is a chunky book. It's almost 600 pages long. So I don't like reading super thick books. If it's that damn long, sometimes it loses me and then I get uninterested, and I don't like DNFing books. But if the story is really good, and a lot of people have said that the story is really good, it's worth a try. So I'm very excited to read this one. I don't know if I want to leave that one for the fall season, but we'll see. But that is everything that I picked up from Target and from Barnes & Noble. I also got like a cushiony little lap desk so that I can work on my iPad and stuff while I'm laying in bed and all that. So I also picked that up, and that was like 19 bucks. And then we got some Starbucks from Barnes & Noble. But as far as books goes, this is everything that I picked up. Anyway, I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to update you on, because I am going to head out in a few minutes. It's New Year's Eve. I'm going to spend some time with my family and then come back home before 12 o'clock so that I can be a grandma at home and like settled in my house before midnight. But I did go to Disney Springs, and I'll insert a little clip of that. Disney Springs was a hot mess. There were so many people. It was so packed. I am so excited that I got to eat the lobster. It's not lobster laksa anymore. I think it's called like Singapore lobster noodles, but it's basically the same thing with just a different noodle. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough. So I was super excited that I got to try that. And then I ended up going to the Christmas shop and getting some personalized ornaments for my family, and I shipped it over to them in Jersey. But it was just so crowded. I will definitely avoid going to Disney Springs next time during the holiday season, because it was just way too much. I'm used to like a crowd, but that was like intense. But we still had a good time nonetheless. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video here just so that it doesn't get any longer than what it is. I feel like I've already put a ton of stuff into this video. But yeah, that's all I have for this vlog. This might end up being posted already in the new year, so at that point, Happy New Year. And I have a lot of ideas for the new year and videos and content that I want to put out. I am working on my TBR jar video, so that one should be up pretty soon, because I need to pick up my January TBR and get to reading, and also set my reading goal and all of that stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and following me around for a few days, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!